Okay, so first of all, first thing first, your quiz, right? Some of your friends have some problems. Uh, Rizbi, Monir, they have problems. They uh, and for that reason, I think it is better to take the quiz and then after the Maghrib prayer, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any problem or not?
No, sir. No, sir. ما فاهمين يا محمود يعني نوع أسكالية. الرومانية مساقتكم كما غير.
Dígame.
والله ما قد كما غير معلم.
Uu ku jira macalinku hadlaya.
هذا ما هذا زمان هذا الدور.
Qadka ka maqan
دي جي لاست ياس مروان يرى كتور.
waa naad hore aan meesha ku jira nawal nawal
So do you have all the lectures, video lectures?
no sir.
No, sir.
Why? I have uploaded all in the YouTube.
صوتي غنية. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Check
Yes, sir. We
from
have.
the YouTube, then you'll get all. Okay, let me open the book. So your mid syllabus is 3 chapter only. Chapter 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. So you take the preparation for these chapters. You know, as well as like old days. First of all, I'll take the Viva and the assessment will be given to you. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay. So from the first chapter, what you'll read? Okay. You see, that is your first chapter. Introduction to the control system. In this chapter, you have to read the definition of control system. Okay, I have given to you the sheet already. The slide is given to you. So first of all, you need to learn the definition of control system. Then see control system, they define it. And you need to know the block diagram of control system. What is the block diagram? And how does it represent? Okay, that is the thing. And see some examples are there. These are the advantages of control system. See why they use a control system. 4 primary reasons are there. Like power amplification, remote control, convenience of input form, compensation for disturbances. These are the advantages of control system. Okay, these are the advantages of control system. And remote control, that means you can control the any system remotely. The example is like rocket or the satellite, right? NASA is controlling those things from the earth. And convenience of input form, and you can change the input form, and you can compensation for disturbances. So these things are reason of why do we use the control system. Some histories are there. We do not need the history. If you want, you can check and see. It is an example optical playback system I've given to you, and some types of control system like open loop and closed loop control system. This is the open loop. Open loop has no feedback. On the other hand, closed loop have some feedback. So that is the main difference between the open loop and closed loop control system. And some other differences are also there. So if you check, then you can find it out. Open loop and closed loop control system. See, that is another one. Uh, the hard disk. Hard disk is another example of control system. Okay. It is an example of azimuthal control system. See, radar system. Here you are putting the desired angle, and according to your input, the antenna will rotate. That is another types. And that is the design process actually. The steps. The steps are given here. These first three steps have been discussed in the chapter 1, and 2, 3, and 13. Chapter 2, 3, and 13 uh, contains the step 4, and step 5 is discussed in the chapter 5 and 13, and the final step, step 6, which is discussed in the chapter 4, 6 to 12, and chapter 13. Okay, that is the thing, design process. So if you look at the first slide, then you can check this out and see these things are important. See, waveforms. I think I have discussed these things in the previous courses. See this, what are there? That is the impulse response, that is the step response, that is the ramp, that is the parabola, that is the sinusoid. Remember this thing for your future studies. Delta T, impulse response delta T. I asked this question in the Viva in the last course, but unfortunately most of you have failed. That is the problem.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Most of us, what do you say, sir?
I have asked you about the impulse response. I just draw this one and asked you what type of signal this
Impulse.
is. Okay, signal this is. But most of the
Okay.
students have failed to answer the correct one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, yes.
Some of you have failed. You have failed to answer this one, these questions. What is this? And this is a step response. A step. This one is step response. Let me zoom it. That is a step response. Don't forget. These kind of signals do not forget ever, because you are engineer, electrical engineer. You cannot
Okay,
forget
sir.
this one, right?
Okay, sir.
You
Thank
have
you.
to remember all the time. So that is impulse response. That is a step response. This is ramp. This is parabola, and this is sinusoid. Actually, we do know the sinusoidal signal, but we forget about others, which is very bad. But we have to remember all: impulse, step, ramp, parabola, and sinusoid. And also remember the type of
Okay, sir.
function. See, that is the delta function, delta t. That is ut, that is t ut, that is half t square ut, and this is sin omega t. These are the functions of this one. Okay. Okay, so remember these things and it will be helpful for you in the future.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so remember the table 1.1. You can write it down on your notepad on the paper, that it is table 1.1 from the book. You have to remember the things, because sometimes in the Viva I can ask you. So at this level, do not forget this mistake. Do not mistake about this one. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and that is from the first chapter. So from the first chapter, what you study? What is the control system, and what are the types of control systems, and what are the difference between the types, like open loop, closed loop? Okay, and what are the input waveforms types, like impulse function, like a step, like ramp, like parabola, etc. Okay, so do not forget this one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now from the, see, these are the problems, actual problems. If I give you these things as a assignment, it would be very difficult for you to see. An aircraft attitude varies in roll, pitch, and yaw, as defined in figure P20. See this angle. That is the roll angle in the aircraft. This is the yaw angle. Yaw, see, Z. And that is the pitch angle. This is Y. X, Y, Z. That is the roll angle. That is the pitch angle. And that is the yaw angle. See, this thing of the aircraft, it changes in the pitch angle, and the bottom part is changed according to the yaw angle, right? And that is the roll angle. See, an aircraft's attitude varies in roll, pitch, and yaw as defined in figure this. Draw a functional block diagram for a closed loop system that stabilizes the roll as follows. The system measures the actual roll angle with a gyro and compares the actual roll angle with the desired roll angle. The ailerons respond to the roll angle error by undergoing an angular deflection. The aircraft responds to this angular deflection, producing a roll angle rate. Identify the input and output transducers, the controller, and the plan. Further, identify the nature of the signal. See, that is the problem you need to check. Okay, these things you can check. Okay. So from the some others problems are there. See, pupil. See, pupil is shown black. Light beam is shown white. Light beam diameter is larger than pupil. Light beam diameter is smaller than pupil. Narrow light beam as illuminated at pupil. See, these are actually the problems you have to check for your better understanding about the control system. But I am not giving you here. Okay, but if you try to solve these things at your home, then I think you will have better idea about the control system. But since we have limitation of times, so we cannot do whatever we want. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now modeling in the frequency domain from the chapter 2, what you have to learn, what you have to check. You have to check few things like uh, okay, so transfer function comes in the chapter 2. So you have to check the definition of transfer function as well as some examples. Okay. Okay. So from the transfer function, you have to check some problems. Okay, some default problems, electrical network transfer functions. See, you need to remember the table so that you can solve the given problems like 2.6 and then mesh analysis are also given, mesh analysis problem, as well as the op-amp problem of op-amp. And after that, we have discussed of the translational mechanism system transfer functions. From here, you have to check only two problems, 2.16 and 2.17. Only two problems you have to check. And from the, and 2.18 also. And from the rotational mechanism system, 2.6, this one, you have to check 2.19, 2.20, that's it. And with gears, transfer functions with gears, from here, you have to check 2.21 and 2.22. And also I have discussed about this one, and I have shown you this problem also, 2.23, transfer function DC motor and load. Okay, only problems. For the assessment, I'll give you problems mainly. Okay, for the assessment, I'll give you problems, so be careful about that. And then we have gone to we have to move with the chapter 4. Chapter 4. From the chapter 4 is a very easy one among this. Let me show you. Time response. This is the chapter 4. So from the chapter 4, first of all, remember the definition of poles and zeros. Poles and zeros. Remember poles and zeros. What are the poles? What are the zeros? Remember these things. Okay. Then you have to check some problems regarding poles and zeros. And first order system, you have to remember time constant. What is the time constant? 1 over A is the time constant. And rise time, settling time, these things you have to remember. And see the skill assessment exercise, which is 4.2, simple one, simple problem. And 4.4 is the second order systems. In the second order system, you need to know the type of figures you're dealing with. The general second order system, actually, here we have to consider the damping ratio zeta and natural frequency omega n. Okay, we have to check this out, and you have to remember this one: undamped, underdamped, critically damped, and overdamped. This kind of figures, how it comes. Here you have problems 4.4 and 4. Skill assessment exercise 4.4. If you check this out, you can find it easily. And after that, we have checked some this thing, evaluation of TP, peak time, percentage of overshoot, and related problem. This one, 4.5. So your chapter is up to 4.5. Okay. In between, we have skipped the chapter 3, which I'll show you after the mid, inshallah. Okay. That is the additional pulse. Another one, see, robot follows input commands from a human trainer. See this one. That is the example of control system. A robotic system which following the instruction of the trainer. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And these are the examples. So I think you have some idea what kind of thing will come in the assessment.
Assessment, yeah.
And Viva will be regarding this.
Okay, sir.
স্যার এই বইটা তো ডাউনলোড হচ্ছে না কন্ট্রোল সিস্টেম ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং
কি ডাউনলোড
স্যার
হচ্ছে
এই
না
বইটা না স্যার
বলো
Sir,
which one
স্যার এইটা কন্ট্রোল সিস্টেমটা স্যার হচ্ছে না
বুঝি নাই কি কন্ট্রোল সিস্টেম হচ্ছে না কন্ট্রোল
স্যার
সিস্টেম
এই বইটা আর কি কন্ট্রোল সিস্টেম ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং স্যার এই বইটা ডাউনলোড হচ্ছে না
তোমার তো নেটের সমস্যা
স্যার অনেক স্পেস দেখাচ্ছে আর কি
হ্যাঁ এটা বড় বইটা বড় কত সাইজ কত দেখাচ্ছে
স্যার 2 লার্জ দেখাচ্ছে কোনো মানে এক্স্যাক্টলি কোনো দেখাচ্ছে না কত এমবি এরকম কোনো কিছু দেখাচ্ছে